Welcome to the Explainer. Listen, if you're a Canadian trying to figure out how to secure the bag and park your hard-earned money, you've probably felt like the financial alphabet boys are coming for you. TFSA, RRSP, FHSA. It feels like you need a whole finance degree just to open a savings account, right? But today, we're keeping it 100. We're decoding this complex world of Canadian registered accounts, we're busting some massive myths, and I'm going to show you the absolute ultimate cheat code to stack these accounts and build some serious generational wealth.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is the blueprint for today. 1. Decoding the alphabet soup. 2. TFSA versus RRSP. 3. Busting the refund myth. 4. Meet the FHSA. 5. The ultimate stacking strategy. And finally, 6. When your plans change.
Section 1. Decoding the alphabet soup. Before we drop the advanced wealth-building gems, we just gotta lay down the groundwork real quick.
Looking at these AGF fast facts, here is how the game is actually played. First up, the TFSA. You get a $7,000 limit this year. Now, there's no tax deduction up front, but here's the magic. Your money grows completely tax-free, and when you pull it out, boom, tax-free. Next, the RRSP. Your limit is 18% of your earned income. The big flex here is the upfront tax deduction. It lowers your tax bill today, but you gotta remember, the tax man will be waiting when you withdraw that money in retirement. Finally, the new kid on the block, the FHSA. You get $8,000 a year, your contributions are tax deductible, and withdrawals are tax-free as long as you're buying that first home.
Section 2, TFSA versus RSSP. Man, this is the heavyweight matchup that has literally every Canadian stressing over where to put their money first.
Let's keep it real and distill the core mechanics. Think of the TFSA as tax prepaid. You already paid the government on payday. You put those after-tax dollars in the account, and they promise to never, ever touch your gains again. The RSSP, though, that's tax deferred. You get a deduction now, which is basically telling the government, hey, catch me later. But make no mistake, you aren't dodging those taxes forever. You're just kicking the can down the road until you retire.
All right, Section 3, busting the refund myth. It is time to shift our perspective and completely spill the tea on one of the most misunderstood concepts in personal finance. So this CIBC report completely debunks the idea that an RRSP tax refund is some magical free windfall. You know how people get that spring check and immediately blow it on a vacation or a new TV? Yeah, don't do that. The report reveals the truth. That refund is just you borrowing against your future tax liability. The tax you didn't pay today is literally just waiting for you at the finish line. Blowing that refund right now is the mathematical equivalent of taking out a payday loan from your future self.
Let me actually prove it to you with this incredible case study from CIBC featuring Zach and Ali. Zach uses an RRSP, and Ali uses a TFSA. They both invest the exact same pre-tax income, and they both get a 5% return over 20 years. Now, if their tax rate stays at a constant 40% during their working years and right into retirement, the math is totally identical. On an after-tax basis, both of them end up with exactly $9,287 in annual cash flow. It's a dead heat. So if a constant tax rate is its high, how do you actually choose? Well, it all comes down to your tax bracket trajectory. If you're a high earner right now, but you expect to be in a lower bracket when you retire, the RRSP is your winner. You take the big deduction today and pay minimal tax later. But if you're grinding at a lower income right now and you expect to be making major moves and living in a higher tax bracket in retirement, the TFSA takes the crown. The refund isn't the deciding factor here, guys. Your future bag is.
Moving on to Section 4. Meet the FHSA. Now that we've settled that great debate, it's time to introduce the account that is completely shifting the home buying paradigm.
Meet the First Home Savings Account, or FHSA. Y'all, this is literally the unicorn of Canadian finance. The FHSA offers a triple tax advantage. First, you get the tax-deductible contributions of an RRSP. Second, your investments grow tax-free. And third, you get the tax-free withdrawal power of a TFSA, as long as it's for your first home. No other registered account in Canada is letting you double-dip like this.
Section 5. The ultimate stacking strategy. Now that we know the rules, we can shift from basic definitions to an incredibly powerful, advanced strategy.
Here is the major key. You do not have to choose between the FHSA and the RRSP when you're saving for a house. As this user from the Canada Housing subreddit perfectly put it, combining these accounts is the closest thing to a cheat code that exists for Canadian first-time buyers.
This is a 100% legal, government-approved stacking strategy that mortgage brokers and savvy investors are using every single day. Just look at this number, $200,000, 200 bands. This is the maximum, entirely tax-advantaged down payment a couple can build by stacking these specific accounts together. Think about the kind of leverage and purchasing power that gives you in today's wild housing market.
Let's break down the exact math on this. A single buyer can max out their lifetime FHSA limit at $40,000. On top of that, they can pull up to $60,000 from their RRSP under the home buyer's plan. That's $100,000 for one person. But if you're teaming up and buying with a partner, you double it. 2 maxed FHSAs is $80,000. 2 maxed RRSP home buyers withdrawals is $120,000. Combine those forces, and you are looking at a staggering $200,000 in tax-advantaged capital. To execute this properly, you need the step-by-step playbook. Step 1, max out the FHSA first to secure that unbeatable triple tax advantage. Step 2, when you file your taxes, take the refund generated by your FHSA contribution and drop it straight into your RRSP. This is literally free money compounding on free money. Step 3, when it's time to close on the house, withdraw the FHSA funds tax-free with zero obligation to repay. And Step 4, withdraw from your RRSP using the homebuyer's plan, but just keep in mind you'll have 15 years to slowly repay that specific portion back to your retirement fund.
Section 6. When your plans change. Look, life be lifing. What seems like a concrete plan today might change entirely tomorrow. Let's address the biggest hesitation people have.
This brings us to the #1 question we see. What happens if I aggressively stack cash in an FHSA, but ultimately decide I just don't want to buy a house? Or maybe that 15-year limit on the account runs out. Does the government snatch that money? Do you get hit with some massive tax penalty?
Well, this brilliantly illustrates the ultimate fail-safe built into the system. If you don't buy a house, there is absolutely no penalty. You simply use Form RC-721 to directly roll your FHSA funds straight into your RSP. And the absolute best part, this transfer does not require you to have any available RSP contribution room. You just manufactured extra space out of thin air, and those funds shift into a massive retirement boost that keeps growing tax-deferred. Your money is never trapped. We dropped a ton of gems today, from the basic rules all the way up to that advanced 200K stacking strategy. So I'm leaving you with this. Take a hard look at your own financial playbook right now. Are your accounts actually working together to accelerate your goals, or are you leaving Canada's ultimate financial cheat code on the table? Don't leave money behind. The tools are here, the math is proven, and now it's on you to execute. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep building that wealth.